You know, welcome back. Disasters like the wildfires in California are traumatic and they test our resolve. Here to share how we can help friends and loved ones as they navigate a loss, we welcome the author of Okay, Now What? How to Be Resilient When Life Gets Tough, Kate Gladdin. Hi, Kate. Great to see you.
Likewise. Good morning, Helen.
Good morning. Talk to me about the trauma that you went through, because you went through a significant trauma and you had to be resilient. So talk to me about that.
Yeah, I was just finishing up my college and thought I knew what life was going to look like and the path forward. And then 3:37 a.m. one morning back in 2012, my phone rang with the dreaded news that my beautiful big sister Nicole was killed in a motorbike accident while she was away in Thailand. And just like I said, everything I thought I knew about my future and my life was shattered. And I was determined to find a way to live again in honor of my sister, but I really got very curious about what is it that resilient people do differently? Because let's be honest, some disasters, tragedies, heartbreaks can make us bitter. You know, we all deal with grief differently.
Sure.
And I always try to be respectful of that too. As I come through with my tips and advice, it's like, perhaps this isn't for everyone, but
Right.
the difference it's made in my life and those who I've helped. So
How do you define resilience?
that's such a good question, because I think sometimes it is misunderstood. It's not a matter of trying to just be stoic all the time and smack a smile on your face when you're struggling. To me, it's about learning a skill set of how to face the world with courage, cope with change, and learn how to become stronger, not in spite of our challenges, but because of them. And that includes struggling sometimes too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of us have one or two friends in California who are dealing with the loss of massive loss of a home and everything in it. So you have some tips that we might be able to use to help. So you say respect first their process and their timeline.
Yeah. So this is a very early stages of resilience. And to be honest, from the stories I've seen, I think California is already doing an incredible job of being resilient and coming together. But
Right.
if you do have someone who's lost, I think the first thing to keep in mind is right now it's not about trying to make them feel better. It's about helping them feel whatever they need to feel and holding space for that rather than trying to go straight to solutions or fix it mode. We need to help them hold the space for all those different feelings first and foremost.
That really makes a lot of sense. Also, assist them in regaining a sense of control, because that's when in times of tragedy, we feel out of control.
Yeah, helplessness is a real feeling, especially can't even imagine losing your home, your possessions, even a loved one. It's very easy to feel helpless. So again, once you know they've let it out and it's like, hey, you know, can I be here to help you with anything? What is it you think you need? And maybe they might be too overwhelmed to think, but you can start to make suggestions like, are there phone calls you need to make, groceries, like, and it's a balance of, I think, offering to help to do that, but also giving them a chance to do it for themselves. I know after my sister passed away, actually having some things to do that was contributing, whether it was to help organize her funeral, memorial, sometimes it helps to put the power back in their hands with those small steps.
Yeah, the small steps, you know, like, yeah, picking up things, whatever they need, that absolutely makes sense. Okay, focus on listening rather than immediately jumping to solutions, because I think a lot of us do that. We think, okay, we can give them some tips, what to do and how to do it, and that's not helpful.
Definitely not. As I said, they're riding the roller coaster of emotions right now, because essentially it's a huge sense of grief, which encompasses shock, anger, denial, and then you're back to hope. And so I think the greatest gift you can give someone is to sit with them in their own discomfort. We want to try and help them feel better because it's uncomfortable to be in such deep feelings. But the greatest friends I ever had in my deep grief moments, you know, they weren't trying to fix anything other than maybe passing me a tissue to help me feel it. So I think and I also say, be honest. The best things I heard were like, you know, I don't know what to say right now, but I'm here for you. That's so beautiful. I think, like, okay, yeah, there's not a lot to say right now, but knowing that they're not alone in their struggle and feelings is such a gift.
Listening, as you said, is huge too. And you say to be aware of nonverbal communication, which makes a lot of sense too.
Yes, yes. I think it sounds straightforward, but putting away our phones, not half listening to something, or even if it is over a phone call, being fully present, eye contact, even, if you are in person with them. I was speaking with a friend about the power of, a hand on your shoulder, a hand to hold, just being that warm and genuine and very present with them, because sometimes we can get uncomfortable and squirm and want to get out of that discomfort of deep feeling. So again, listening and actively showing that is so important.
And then providing tangible help, something that you can physically do in any way you can.
Yes, yes. And I've loved, as I said, seeing the stories of how many people are helping out. There's an Australians in LA Facebook page, and just seeing all the things that everyone's posting, whether it's offering a room, or even finding tips of like, what's the first steps towards the insurance and things like that, or as I said, getting groceries, finding other community support groups, because I think finding people who have gone through similar things that better understand what your loved one might be feeling is a really powerful resource to help find for them too.
Absolutely. The biggest takeaway I think is listening, keeping quiet and listening. That's a lesson for me. All right, Kate, we want to tell everyone again, the book is titled, Okay, Now What? How to Be Resilient When Life Gets Tough. Kate Gladdin, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Helen.
All right, we'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away.